Hello and welcome to another Wardy's Weekly Waffle midweek version from outside Lincoln County Hospital. You can see in the background I've just been for a first, I don't know what it is, check-up or appointment with somebody since I had my leg scanned. Those regular viewers will know that I ruptured the calf muscle or tore the calf muscle 10 days ago, and this is the first appointment I've ever had since the scan. Really pleasing to know that the scan revealed that it wasn't a bad tear. They told me that it's only 5.5 millimeters, which isn't big apparently, and the consultants just said to me I need to keep this boot on. I've still got this boot you can see down there. I need to keep this boot on for another possibly another 3 to 4 weeks when I'm using it, when I'm walking around the farm, but at night still take it off and then start doing some exercises in another week or so. So really pleasing to know that he says it will make a full recovery, and it's not a bad tear, which I'm pleased to know. But anyway, thank you very much for everybody's sort of concerns and questions about it, and wishing me well, and hope it doesn't cause me too much grief. So thanks very much for that. Anyway, this update we are looking at soil. I've had Philip Wright. Those of you who know Philip Wright, you'll have heard him before and seen him on my videos before. Philip Wright has got his own company now called Wright Resolutions, and he does soil, looks at cultivations. He helps a lot of major machinery manufacturers design machinery. He was actually a few years ago, he was a director at Simba, and a lot of the machinery you see running around on farms today are the ones that Philip designed and had a big input into. So always great to see him. We look at some of our fields and our cultivations, and just looking at assessing what our fields are like after years of minimal cultivation. So we look at that and talk to Philip about that. Also soloing, we get the solo back on and look at the solo and the effects of that, and what it does to the soil. And also we have a little clip at the Elita, and this is the machine that Philip helped us design, and a few other little snippets around the farm and a general roundup of general farm work. So that's enough from me outside the hospital. Let's crack on with this midweek update, and we'll see you at the end. I've got Philip Wright just come here this morning to have a look at our some of the soils and things, and actually Phil helps us design, or he designed that Elita, so he's had a lot to do with it. Know Phil well. Right, what we got here then?
So we've dug, Andrew, first of all we've dug in untrafficked at harvest bit. So as you'd expect, soloing the beans,
Yeah.
You've set the soil up. It's set up really, it's in very good order.
Yeah.
And I always find
Nala, no.
I always find that the loosening action, the structuring action head of beans is nearly worth 2, because it'll almost count for the first week.
Yes. Yeah. So, and then in here where the combine wheels been, or tracks been.
Yeah. So we can see at depth just the same.
Yeah,
so
crumbling.
the effect of that combine is really only about, in old money, about 4 inches.
Yeah.
But even that is relatively negligible.
Yeah.
As you can see, if I can break that by gentle hand pressure, which I'm doing,
Yeah.
accepting that it's moist now, it's in good condition, it's in friable condition to do it. But you can see really the effect of that combine is negligible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It just digs with no effort now.
Yeah, it does. So let's have a look at this, the Elita. We're just trying a small area in here because I think we're going to direct drill this without working it. We're just going to do a small area. The problem we've got is you can see the weeds just hanging around the legs of the Elita because we haven't got the disc in front to chop it. Phil's just going to have a look and have a word with Tom, but does a good job.
Pushing that in without my foot.
Yeah, I can see, going straight down. Is that behind a tine? I don't know. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'll come across.
So where Phil is there, that's straight behind a leg.
Yeah, look at that. Plenty of worms under it. Here's the middle between.
Yeah.
So a little firmer.
Yeah.
But watch how that has been moved.
Yes.
So we've got the column.
Yeah.
But it's quite accessible for. I mean, it's in good condition. This here anyway. Look.
Yeah, it is.
It's gorgeous there.
We're just
All of that because it's
chopping the rubbish because we're just wondering that the free flow drill might block with this rubbish. So I think we just needs a very light, shallow disking with the express. So Phil's just sort of mimicking that with a spade just to see if it will just chop through.
just that much.
the rubbish. Yeah,
There's a better
chopping it.
That'll be the acid test, just drag it through it and see if it's probably if it's chocolate. Yeah, if you had.
Phil and Tom have just gone off in front of me. I'm just, I said I'll catch them up. I'm just taking my time. They're just going to go and have a look at a turning headland and also a combine track mark to see what the difference is. But no, it's really good. Done a lot of work with Phil over the years. He used to be one of the directors at Simba and designed a lot of the Simba kit, so I've had a lot to do with him, and he knows our farm really well, which is fantastic. We're on the headland now, and obviously headlands get more traffic as everything turns on them. So we're just looking here.
You can see as I push, if I dig this in and push it, you can see it shearing horizontally. Yeah, it's quite tough here. And the more I go down, the easier this gets. We have got a channel through it though, look at that. Look at that massive worm channel.
Wormhole, yep.
Coated on the inside.
Just looking at the bean roots here, how they've gone down really straight, so it shows there's no compaction or resistance underneath.
This is on a headland, so
yes, headlands as well, exactly, headlands as well, where there we go, there's a little one. That's not a tiny one. Yeah. Plenty of worms. Yeah, tiny one. Oh, just there. Two. Little one in there. There's that. Yep.
And we are in a combine.
Yeah, combine track mark, so that will. So the more worms you see there, sign of a good soil there. Look at that. We've now just come into the field of navel beans, or the Capilet, where we're going to have turned, hopefully combine these next day or two for baked beans. Just looking at what we've got here. The roots are incredible. And now it's opened the soil up. Let me just pull that there for us. You see, this is the trouble. We've got all the rubbish. Vine weed is just hanging around the tines, and the same around those. So what we're going to do is we're going to lightly cultivate the top with the Simba Express, so that all this rubbish is chopped up. Just see here, we've got there, because this is the problem. It's our drill won't run through this. It's going to block the drill up. So this is just a slight dilemma we've got, in that we're sort of having to do a few cultivations so that we make the drill run. So it's the same story as we've had for a while. Do we need a disc drill? I think we do need 2 drills, and if we had a disc drill, then it would run through this and chop through the rubbish, and we could direct drill it without doing anything to it. So it's something we do need to look at, and possibly get a second-hand disc drill somewhere. So we're folding it up now. Going to go back onto the solo. We've got some other land that does want soloing, so we're going to do that. And the front machine is the Elita. We built that from, or we converted it rather, from a 6-metre solo about 10 years ago. And then this press, really useful, because we can put this press behind. You can use it on its own, put it behind this Elita, or put it behind the solo. Going back to the yard now. About put the solo on. But Tom's just taken the press off. It's not too big a job. It's just pins and a few pipes. So we're now going to take the Elita off and put the solo on. He's going to back it in the shed there. Handy having an open fronted shed. Try and keep as much machinery under cover all year round as we can. I'll just watch him back. That will do. That's it, that's got the jack off the floor now. We're on the solo. See all the hydraulic pipes that it needs. So we're just going to back up to this unipress now and put it on. Unipress obviously means one, so there's only one DD here, whereas the other press we've got under the shed there, that one you can't quite see, but there's 2 lines of DDs. Just line it up. It's very difficult to see without any camera from the tractor cab. There's 6 pipes going there to operate the press through, right through to the tractor, so you can work the press from the tractor through the machine on the front here through the solo. Then you've got electrics, ortholube as well. Nice site, nice covey of English partridges. Shows we're doing something right. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 there. On the bean stubbles. It's Sunday morning. I'm just moving a bit of soil. We've got some soil that came out of one of the dikes on the edge of the lane last winter when Barry was here doing the dikes up. We couldn't put the soil on the field because of the lane that was nearby, so we had to move it into this corner of the field. So I'm just loading it up now and putting it in that area where Tom nearly got stuck in one of those fields on the end of the lane. If you remember seeing the video a few months ago, or yeah, during the spring when we were planting this field of barley, Tom nearly got stuck with the drill and made a hole in it. So we're just putting 2 loads of soil. That's all I'm moving with this 17-ton contract tipper. It's only moving it 600 yards, just taking it just up the road, up the farm track. This is the area of ground that we couldn't plant with barley because it was too wet. On the edge of this field that we had the barley seed, and this was the area that Tom nearly got stuck with the drill. It sank right in here when he was filling up. He came to the edge of the lane to fill up and turn round, and it sunk right in and nearly got stuck. You can't quite see it so much now, but I've put 2 loads of soil here out the trailer just there. I'm just going to level this out with a Manitou before the rain comes this week, but you can just see here it is still a bit low just there. So all through this area here, just quickly level it out and that'll be the job done. And then we're going to solo the whole field because this field is coming oats next crop. So Ruben sprayed this morning, you can just see through here, wheelings through there. Ruben sprayed this with 3 litres hectare of glyphosate, 97 litres hectare of water to give a total application rate of 100 litres a hectare. And then we'll solo this bit again just to finally level it up when we do the field. I've spread a fair bit of this. You can see, looking at it's a bit shiny, which means there's quite a bit of clay in it, but there will be because it's out the bottom of our dikes, but it'll be fine. By the time this is dried a bit and then Tom goes through here with the solo, it will mix in quite well. You'll not, well, you will see it because the soil's a different colour, but it will mix in fine. It will do a good job here, level up the hole. I've just got behind the Manitou because it's a bit breezy out there at the minute today. Just wanted to explain also, we actually have to have a licence to spread this soil. Now, this is the idiotic thing about some of the regulations we have had to adhere to. We have to have a licence from the Environment Agency. Now, this soil has come out of one of our own dikes. We're spreading it onto one of our own fields, yet we're not allowed to do that without we have a licence. Yes, we have a licence. We've got about 4 or 5 waste disposal licences of various sorts, so that we try and comply with every regulation without, so that we can do everything without having to apply for it at the last minute. But it's just one of these idiotic things that we have to do. Another thing that we have to do, you saw in my last video that about the water tanks have to have a big enough overflow, and DEFRA instructing the Environment Agency or the water companies, Anglian Water, doing that. This is just another one of those idiotic things that we have to have a licence to spread our own soil on our own land. Just ridiculous. Got PX Farms from Cambridgeshire rolled up to some planings. I've had 1 load already and another one just going to load now. And Barry's been and dug this out with his back bucket because it's set really solid in the heat. So he's just dug this out so we can load it with the Manitou bucket. Tom's on the solo, just on his last time around the field, finishing it off. Again, the beauty of GPS, he's done at an angle, and then when he does the outsides, he'll start inside. I'm not sure whether he does 4 breeds or 5 breeds round. This is his last time. All the fields have been mapped. You can see the press sticks out a little bit wider because the press is about 1 metre wider altogether than the solo, but it needs to be a bit wider to cope with the saw throw that's coming off this front. Just see it's doing a really good mixing job. That DD firms it there, the DD in front of that disc firms it ready for the back disc to bite into a bit more. And then we have the press with the tines just gobbling it a little bit. And then single row rings, the levelling board there, but we haven't really got that down. You can just see those leaf springs in front there. We haven't got a tine in this very outside one because it boils the lumps out, and then it leaves a line, a ridge of lumps. So you can see here, this outside one, there's no tine in that, in the soil anyway. See the loosening legs just quick before he lifts up. Those legs there are all loosening the ground underneath. Ready compacted. We haven't got them very deep. Tom's come down with the spade just to check what the soil's like underneath. So those legs aren't very deep in this field. You can see the type of soil we're dealing with here. Lots of clay and silt. But this is coming wheat again here. We'll talk about cropping in another update, but we've decided to go continuous wheat in quite a lot of the heavy land fields where we're having rape, and so that's what we're doing. So this field won't be planted with wheat until probably middle of October or 25th of October. So Tom's just backing in the corner. Interesting. It's the amount of hitch points. It is difficult backing here, but if you get straight for a start like Tom did, and then just keep straight. It's like backing a four-wheel trailer, it is a bit tricky. And it's just turning the press, jackknifing it at the very last minute. If you do that, like that, then that means you can drop the solo in the ground and the disc in the ground. And then it'll spin round and follow it as it gets going. So it's back, so the legs, and it's all loose right into the corners. The discs will work right in the corner there. So remember last week's video we said that the combine, or our combine, couldn't pick the McDon header up, so I think we now might have something arriving that can. Yep, hey presto. Thank you to Russell's and New Holland for getting this sorted for us. First glance, those rams under there don't look any bigger than ours, so we shall see whether this can pick it up better than well, ours can't pick it up at all, so we'll see what the reason why ours can't do it. So this is the newer version of ours. Ours is a 9090, this is the 9.90, and these are the rams that are meant to be bigger than ours. Now whether they are or not, I don't know. We shall have to have a measure and a see. Good job the low loader's got outriggers with a track speed as wide as this. They fetched it from a farm near Driffield. Well, looking at this, we've got a bit of Yorkshire soil here. I hope we've got no Yorkshire blackgrass in that. We're just putting it under cover. It's just starting to rain again and the yard looks dry, but you can see a bit of puddles here. So we're just putting it under the shed. That's it, fully undercover, out the weather. I've got some calipers here that will tell the size of the ram. Let me just open that up like that. There we go, you see. So I'm going to just check the diameter of this ram and compare it to, this is our combine by the way, this one, and then check it to the 9.90 that we've just had delivered. So there we go. That's just a nice fit over that ram. So that's the size. So we'll nip now over the other side into the yard and just see what that's like. Right, here we go. Let's have a look. Well, our combine is bigger. Really odd. Look at that. So that's it for another midweek update. Thanks very much for watching. Just to give you a final update on the beans and the reason we can't lift the header. You can see here behind me we've got the 9.90 combine. We've got our combine just behind me over my shoulder. The reason we can't lift the header is not due to the ram size, because the rams are identical size. It's due to the whole hydraulic system on the combine. When this 9.90 was brought out, they increased the hydraulic pressure, they increased all the valve blocks on the combine, so the actual system works at a lot higher pressure than our combine behind me there. So it's not the ram size because they're identical, it's the whole hydraulic system on the combine that means this combine will lift a lot more than ours. Anyway, we'll see you on Sunday. Thanks very much for watching this update. And on Sunday's update, besides looking at the weight of the headers, which we're going to look at in detail, I've also got a full update on the Howsam sprayer at last, and I promise you it'll come out this Sunday. So thanks very much for watching. We'll see you at the weekend.